Alright, so welcome to today's video. So today we are talking about components. And what is a component? A component is a separate user interface in a React application. That is what a component is all about. So component is what React use in terms of page or paging, something like that, or what they use to build React, like what we did in the last video by having this, and it gave us the output, which is this one. It's quite correct, but React does not support such. So in React, to make a proper application, you work with components, most especially if you are working with React.js, which is the web application in React. So back to what we want to do today. So the first thing to do in creating a component, which is a proper way of working with React, we're going to create a folder right on the src, which is a source folder. So select the src, make a new folder. We'll call it components. That's the best practice. We'll call it components. Okay, then select enter. But mind you should have run your cdnu npm start at this region here. Okay, so also we'll create two more folders. So we can create one more folder again. We can call it page. That's for us our page now. Page, select it. Okay, so now right inside this page folder, I'll create a new file. So components are created using with the .jsx extension. So I'll call it home.jsx, that is JavaScript extension. And if you observe closely, we have the icon of React that shows us that it is a component. So save it. Now the next thing to do now is for us. Now let's go to the app.js and clear what we have before. So we're going to remove what we have here. Take it off for now. Then we're going to save. So alright, now once I go to the browser now, everything is going to be off. Okay, that's all we need. So now going back to the component called home.jsx, we are going to import. We need to import React into the component. So say import, very quickly, import React from React, just like that. Okay, then the next thing to do now is to make sure that the component is publicly accessible by saying export. Then make it a constant whereby the value cannot change. That's constant. Then the name of the component now, we have to start with a capital letter H because that's the way it is. Then we can use what is called the arrow function. Then curly brackets. Okay, then we can bring in the return very quickly. Then that's for that one. Then bring in a div that we need. Then we can write here my first component in React. Save. Okay, so the next thing to do now is we need this text from this component called home.jsx to function or to display in the browser. So I'm going back to the app.js. Then from here now we need to call the component as a self-closing HTML file. So H a capital letter. We need to select this to import. So it will import it up here. Then the self-closing HTML tag. You can save now. Okay. Alright, now once we go to the browser and watch now. So this is the import that is importing the components right inside the app.js. Remember, the app.js is responsible for what we see on the browser. So then this is the component here as a self-closing HTML tag. So we are going back to the browser now. I'll be getting this file as what we have. You can see my first component in React. So please, this is how to create a component in React. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you.